have a question.
Uh-huh.
I was with somebody at work. I work with a person, and the person have been so kind to me, so good to me, and I didn't realize that he loves me. That's why he's being kind to me and all of that.
Okay, beloved. We gotta speed this up. Who took her off? All right, thank God. Whew. That cadence, ba, ba, da, ba, that cadence, I want to dun, 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 click, 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 reload, reload, dun, 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 dun. We got to do that with that. I can't handle that. Oh my God. They all sound the same too. Who've been here? The people who've been here for a minute. I don't care if Empress. To be honest with you, honestly, I I'm hurting, but I'm hurting though. What about me? What about my pain? Having to put up with that cadence. I can't do it. I can't do it. But they all have like the same tonality too. It's all at the same register. Right? I just can't do it, bro. I can't do it. It takes me out of an empathetic zone. I need you to we gotta go. Let's get to the point. What's going on, Hector? How we feeling? Walks in and sits back with my snacks. What's going on, Rushi? There was no question she wanted to vent. Coach, you gotta be on coach mode. Can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do my job if you talk like that. I can't do my job if you talk like that. All right, what we got here? Hello.
Yeah, good afternoon.
What's going on, man? Ashley, unmute yourself, bro. I see you got the mic muted. There we
Yeah,
go.
good afternoon.
Yo, what's going on?
Hello.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
What can I do for you?
Only just to participate about this topic.
What? No. Appreciate you, Hannah. You beat me to it because I was about to do the same thing. I was about to do the same thing. Why do people call with such loud background noise, man? That shit's so annoying. Anyway, if you have a question, people, pertaining to dating and relationships, you can request up. You can also drop your question in the chat. I will answer it there, but callers get first priority. Okay? So if somebody calls while I'm reading your question, I will immediately shift my attention to them. So if you want to guarantee that you get an answer to your question, it is best to call in. All right? All right. Let's see who this is. We'll try it up. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm great. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I have a kind of like a general question. So I'm just 21 and I haven't really dated in a long time. Like last relationship was really unserious. It was like middle school into high school.
Uh-huh.
And I moved to the US to start college here. I'm graduating this year. And I just kind of like entered the dating market like through dating apps and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I I'm kind of like trying to take it serious where like I only try to date people where I can introduce to my family. Like I try to meet people who like go to grad school of some sort, law school preferably. Just because my dad is a judge and I want to make sure that I can introduce him to my dad. So and usually those people are like really, first of all they're older and I feel like they're also trying to take it seriously, but it never goes anywhere. So I don't know if you want me to go into details, but like so far I only talked to like 3 guys. One of them, I think I talked to him for like around 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
September into October, I guess.
Right.
And we went out on like 4 dates. But then it just didn't work out. And then one guy in, I think, end of December into January, and then the third guy was like around Valentine's. So I don't really know if I'm doing something wrong. Why don't they last? Because I genuinely feel like we really vibe, and we be flirting over text and everything, and like I can see them making effort into seeing me like within the first week of texting, but then it doesn't really go anywhere.
Okay. How old are you?
I'm 21.
21. All right. When you say it doesn't really go anywhere, do you mean like it doesn't? Are y'all dating? Like, do y'all go out on dates?
So let me start with the first guy I talked to. That was in December. In September. We did go out on a date right after a week of knowing each other, and then we kept going on like I think 4 more dates. The first two were like serious. I think the very first one, it was kind of like a chill date. We went to Target because I needed to get some stuff, and then he paid for everything. And then we walked around my campus for a little bit, and then we hung out until like 3 a.m. And the second time we went out for sushi, and then walked around like a park as well. And then the third time, I think the third time he just invited me over for dinner, and he cooked me dinner. And then the fourth time, I think I also went over. We just like hung out and studied together. And then when I left that day, like that time, I guess it wasn't really a date. We just like watched the movies. I kind of had that feeling. I was like, oh, I don't think he's gonna talk to me again.
Why did you think that?
Because we had like a political argument. I guess we have different political views. And then after we're done, we're cuddling, and then after we like obviously when we started arguing, I was like, okay, like I'm not gonna, like I kind of like separated myself physically from him, and then he didn't really do anything about it. Like he didn't ask me, "Are you okay?" or anything like that. And then he tried to kiss me, and I was like, "Okay, I'm not gonna kiss you. First of all, like you're not my boyfriend. Second of all, like I'm just like we literally just finished arguing."
Real
And then
quick.
like he got up and he was like, "Oh, I guess I have so much homework. I have so much homework, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave then."
Real quick. The whole thing about like not kissing him because he's not your boyfriend, is that like a rule that you have?
Yeah, I haven't really had my first kiss yet either.
Well, that probably has something to do with it.
Like, what do you
So
mean?
these guys. So is he the only guy that tried to kiss you?
So no, actually, the second one didn't, just because I don't know, it only went out one time, so he doesn't really count. The third guy, we went out one time, and then I had a feeling when he dropped me off that he's gonna try to kiss me, so like I got out of the car way fast. First of all, it was just like after the first date, so I wasn't comfortable with it. But then we were texting, like flirting texting, and then he mentioned, he was like, "Oh, like last time I was trying to kiss you, but I got distracted." And then I think I responded something between the lines of like, "Oh, like I'm a little picky, haha, like you gotta work for that one." But then he never responded to me after that.
Yeah. I mean,
So I don't know, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, are you saying that's the reason?
it's definitely a part of it. It's
But
definitely a
like
part
after
of
his
it.
first date?
No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh.
No, no. It's after the first date is fine. Like if you don't want to kiss someone after like the first or second date, no, there's no problem there.
Mm-hmm.
The rule that you have of like being in a relationship before you kiss somebody,
Mm-hmm.
that's gonna do you in because mm-mm, that's not congruent with the dating market, right? It's
Can I
not
mention
congruent.
something?
It's not congruent with the dating market, nor is it congruent with dating via dating apps.
But here's the thing, all of them are kind of like older. Like the guy that tried to kiss me after the first date, he's 28. And the guy I was talking to in September, I think he was also like 24, 25.
What is that supposed to mean?
I don't know. I feel like they should be like way more mature about like
No,
this should not be a deal breaker.
no, no, no. That never changes. By the way, he could be 50. He's still going to
Uh
want some sort of physical action, right? So,
huh.
so, mm-mm. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. There's a disconnect, right? The disconnect between like your expectations. Like you're making a lot of assumptions about how things are supposed to go, but your foundational premise is flawed. So if your premise is flawed, right, your conclusion is going to be flawed.
So how do I kind of like communicate that? Because I'm really religious, and I think that's like a big thing for me.
Okay.
So like, how do I communicate that? And also, I feel like like for the first guy, like we talked for 2 months, and you still have not asked me to be your girlfriend. First of all, second of all, like we would be scrolling on his phone, like he's trying to show me something, and he still has had a dating app. And I was like, okay, like in my head, obviously I didn't mention it. I just like acted like I didn't see it. But I was like, okay, if we're trying to take this seriously, then why do you still have Tinder?
Yeah, you're conforming everyone to your worldview, and that's not how the world works, right? You have to either be adaptable to what other people's expectations are, or you only deal with people who share your expectation. You're assuming that everyone's playing by the same rule book that you are. So, what is your faith?
Islam.
Okay. What is their approach to dating and courtship?
Well, here's the thing. I am not, me being even on a dating app, that's already like a red flag to me. But I'm really trying to get out of my comfort zone because, I don't know, my parents have been like, kind of like, oh, like, is there anyone? Is there anyone? And I genuinely, like, all my friends are like getting married and like engaged. And I'm like, oh my God, I haven't talked to a guy in like forever.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the first correction I would make is date within your faith so that people are at least on the same page as you, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second thing is I would not date within a dating app for the most part. Dating
Really?
apps are mostly meat markets.
Mm-hmm.
They just are. It's not a good thing, but that's just what it is. That doesn't mean that everyone up there is like that, because obviously you're up there and that's not your intention, right? So you're not the only person on the dating app with this type of intention, but you would have to wade through so much trash in order to find like the rare person who's like you on the dating app that it's not worth it. I would recommend take more of a community aspect to dating. So wherever the people who share your faith cluster, I would embed yourself into those communities.
Okay. Do you have any recommendations?
Only you would know the answers to that, right? So it's like I don't know where you're located in the U.S., but
Like I'm on campus. Well, here's the thing. I feel like to me, I feel like I might seem a little unapproachable to guys because like I'm on campus. I don't really have any guy friends just because I don't feel comfortable having guy friends. But no one approaches me. I wouldn't say I'm the prettiest in the room, but I'm definitely pretty. So I don't know. Like I try to put myself out there. I try to like be present and everything, but I don't know. I don't know what to do.
I mean, it might be because your vibe is giving off that you have some degree of discomfort around male attention, right? I can tell from talking to you that's present, as well as you just said that you aren't comfortable having guy friends, so there is some discomfort that you have with them. So that's probably being read in your energy and your body language. So even though you may have a desire to be approached, if somebody observes you, they're like, she does not want to be approached right now, because that's the kind of vibe you're giving off.
Okay.
So the better approach would be I always tell women and men to put themselves in static environments. That's environments where you see the same people over and over again. So like school and work are static environments, but they're not the only static environment, right? Like church is another one. If you go to a gym at the same time every day, you're going to see the same people over and over again. That's also a static environment. So the frame that I want you to come from is that this is not a dating problem. This is a social problem. Okay, it's not a dating problem. It's a social problem. If you think of it as a dating problem, you're only going to consider dating solutions. Makes sense? Which is why you said dating app, right?
Yeah.
So if you treat it like a social problem, you change how you define the problem. You change the solutions. Okay, that's a good way to explain that. Maz, can we clip that part? But so let's get him blocked too, Maz. I can smell his breath. I didn't like it. So what you want to do is you want to find more static environments and then cross-reference that with men who probably are going to share your faith.
Okay.
Right? It's going to require create some lateral thinking on your behalf, because I'm not familiar with Islam as a faith, how they do things. So I wish I could give you specific examples, But
here's the thing, I genuinely don't mind dating outside of my face as of right now, just because I really want to expose myself to just like the interactions. I don't want to like come off as awkward or like as inexperienced in a way.
right.
So as of right now, I genuinely just want to put myself out there, but even like trying to do that, like it's not working.
Well, it's you have to whatever path you choose, you have to commit to it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't say, okay, I'm going to date outside of my faith, but then I'm going to copy and paste my faith's tenets to my approach.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't work that way. So if
Okay.
you want to date outside of your faith, then you have to get rid of the whole like no kissing and all that kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right. So it's either
Yeah.
you embrace fully the path of entertaining romantic options outside of your faith, or you date within your faith and stay congruent with the tenets of your faith.
Okay.
But don't try to mix and match. It's not going to work.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem, love. You feel free to come back after you give that a try. All right.
Yeah, I will.
All right.
Okay.
Dear. You take care.
Bye.
Bye. All right. Who we got next?
I came next.
Hold on
Hi,
1 second,
hello,
love.
how are you?
I think we got one person in front of you. Give me 1 second. Let me see if he comes up. Ebba time. You're muted.
Yeah, hi. How you doing?
Great. How are you?
Good.
Good. Good. What can I do for you?
I have this question that I wanted to ask. Just like that Muslim guy who just go down right now. I'm sorry, my English is not that much good. I speak little bit French and English. So the same thing happens to me. I'm 38. I've been married. By the time I was in Africa, I didn't even get to see my husband, and we break up. So these are the things that happens to ladies all the time. So I wanted to know why this always happen. Like somebody will come to you and say all set of word, and the next thing is you don't see that guy, or when you're serious to be married or serious in a relationship, the next thing is you don't see them or they don't call you again. So I wanted to know why that's always happen to the ladies.
I'm not sure I follow as far as like what you're describing, the problem that you're describing. What is always happening to the ladies?
Yeah.
Like, so what is always happening to the ladies?
Like all the time heartbreaking, like somebody will promise to marry you, like me.
Uh-huh.
So many people promised to marry me and they didn't come back.
Okay. Okay. Were you in relationships with those people, or were you just dating those people? Like going out on dates?
I can say dating.
Okay. So you weren't in a relationship,
Yes.
you were just dating.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you sleep with those people? Those men?
No.
Okay.
Because I don't know for others, but me, I'm a Muslim. We do abstain in sex. You don't have to sleep with your boyfriends or whatever you call. Just contact, chatting, messages, call. Hey, how you doing? Good. How was your day? Something like that.
Gotcha. Did
but
did they try to sleep with you?
I don't go to their houses or accept those kind of invitations for them to sleep with me.
Okay.
I got married to somebody that the mom introduced me. So we got married by the time I was in Africa, we got married for almost 1 year, 6 months, and he was very nice, very calm, very respect his religion. But at the end of it, he liked to call me, video call, asking me sexy videos that I cannot do because I'm a Muslim and my family background. So the next thing is I just wake up one day, then he just tell me that don't you think that we can have a divorce? That is it. And for my information, he tell so many people that he's supposed to bought for me a car that he doesn't buy. That is why I asked for divorce. And it's not only him. So many people will promise to marry you, take a good care of you, and the next thing is they don't.
Right. So you said that you're Muslim, so you aren't sleeping with these men, and you won't even accept the invitation to come to their houses. Are they extending invitations to come to their houses?
Yeah, some people will just approach you and invite you to come to their houses.
Right. So
As me, I will tell them
yeah.
I'm not
So
going to visit nobody's houses.
so that's
If you
that's
wanna invite me in a date, there's a restaurant outside that we can go. If you want to see me, the same thing, but I don't accept like
okay.
some
Yeah. I
kind of
mean
invitation in your house.
that's likely what's going on here, right? Is men actually a lot of these guys just want to sleep with you. That's why they're promising these things so that they can gain access to you. And then when they see that you are firm or very serious about not doing those things, that's that's when they leave you alone. That's when they disappear.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem, love. Okay, who we got next?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
I was just here to ask questions about, in a sense, from a Christianity type of perspective, how to date within the church.
Okay.
I feel like it's very hard because I do consider myself religious, but at the age that I am at, and me being in college, and a lot of people in college wanting to experiment and go out and look for different people from different backgrounds, it's hard to find somebody who's willing to take you seriously. And as somebody who knows my worth and knows that I'm not wanting to settle for somebody who's going to talk cheap, because anybody can talk, and if your actions aren't matching what you're saying, what is the point of that?
Right.
So with churches, with a lot of denominations, people tend to only date within their denomination, or have like this like fixation of like, oh, I grew up with her in the church, so that's who I'm interested in marrying. Or my wife's in the church, and somebody who's new to that denomination but still is a Christian, they tend to look at as more of like an outcast. So like me trying to find a church, because I've been to so many different churches, and I've always seen the pattern. Like, people only date within their denomination. Like, they don't even care if that's a Christian or if they practice the religion. It's like, oh, you're not a Catholic? I don't want it. So I don't know, like, for a sense, like, how to, I guess, find somebody within the church, because I don't know, I feel like I'm still young, but I do have the vision to get married young.
Gotcha. Okay. Are you in the U.S.?
Yeah,
Okay. And how old are you?
20.
20. All right. Starting young. Good. All right. This will work out. You're starting like, if you're thinking this way at 20, you'll be fine. Trust me.
Okay.
It may feel like forever, but trust me, you'll be fine. Okay. So, yeah, that sounds like a real thing. I was talking to a woman today on one of our coaching calls, and I was telling her like how the church has really fumbled when it comes to teaching, followers how to actually date and form connections, romantic connections. It's kind of like a let go, let God approach, right? But there's no like practical guidance, nothing pragmatic about it. It's like, yes, I get pray, but like outside of prayer, how can I steward my time well in this situation? How can I plant seeds, give God something to bless, right? So the denomination thing makes sense. I will say that the one thing that I would tell you not to constrain yourself to is dating within the church, meaning the specific church that you go to, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would put yourself in more environments where believers would frolic. I know some um, that may mean like you. That may mean that you. Hold on, I gotta block something for somebody real quick. A loser who should start their own platform. All right, so you should find static environments, like I've told other people on the panel. Find static environments which are environments where you see the same people over and over again, right? When you put yourself in static environments, you build familiarity, and familiarity can open the door to attraction. Okay, so when it comes to taking a more Christian oriented approach, you want to find static environments outside of just the church, right? That may mean you volunteer somewhere, right? You may have to get a little creative as far as like where believers will be. I know I've told other people to look for like Facebook groups and things of that nature where there's communities around a certain interest. Someone else just said conferences, which is a good one, right? So you just find those type of environments to kind of plug yourself into. But the important thing is don't fixate on making a romantic connection. Okay, be open to it, but don't be fixated on that. Treat this like a social problem. So when you put yourself in these environments, just show yourself as friendly. You know, spread positive energy, connect with people, connect platonically with women and men alike, right? Because every platonic connection you make could potentially open the door to a romantic connection, right? People will introduce friends of theirs all the time romantically. So you start now, you start doing that, you position yourself for it to happen whenever God sees fit. In other
Okay.
words, if you take this approach, you will 100% be doing your part.
Okay.
Does all that make sense?
Because I thought, yeah, because for a second I thought, okay, maybe it's just the age category that I'm talking to men in. So I went up, I went down, and then I'm like, okay, I don't think that's working. So let me try switching different churches and what people have to say about dating in different denominations. And yeah,
Yeah, it's challenging. It's challenging for everybody, and it's probably even more so for believers, right? Because I'm assuming you're abstaining. Is
mm-hmm.
that fair? Okay. Because you'll find quickly that a lot of them do not. So it's like that just complicates things even more. But you stay the course over a long enough time horizon, as long as you are, you know, your heart posture is correct and you're not like idolizing this in any way. You're just open
Mm-hmm.
to it, right? Um, it'll work out for you. Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you.
No problem, love. You take care.
You too.
CC on the beat.
Yes. Coach, can you clear out your queue, please? And thank you. So if you have a private account, only the host can bring you up. So if you've been requesting, try to see if he can get you up here. Mods can let up public accounts. Don't forget, this is also men are allowed to be on the panel. So if you're a man and you have a question, feel free to join. We're not gonna bite. I know it's mostly women in here, but he is a male dating coach. So I want to encourage you guys to come up and don't let the women dominate with the questions tonight, please. And thank you. And let's get those shares up. We only have 8 on my side, so let's get that up. We got 84 people. I know we can get at least 50 shares. You guys have been doing so well with that. Let's keep tapping the screen. All right, your queue is cleared, Coach. Okay,
Yep.
so is ours. Okay, so thank you guys for joining again. This is also open to men. You can join. I promise we'll be fine. All right, let's get those taps up. Let's get those shares up. You guys know the drill. We're missing Danny, man. We need to reset the room.
We need Danny. CJ's supposed to be doing Danny's role, and he's dropping the ball tremendously right now.
Where is he? Already with the religious questions, but it's all right. Again, men, you guys can join. Okay, don't make me come back up here. All right, thank you, guys.
All right,
Bye.
CC. Appreciate you. Kadeen, what's going on?
You?
Hi.
Good. Okay, so mine is definitely not religious based at
Okay.
all.
All right.
So, little backstory, dating a guy who I've been best friends for 16 years.
Uh-huh.
And we're so much in line from a professional standpoint, from as far as parenting, because our kids are mostly out the door. Our youngest is 16, and he's going to be gone in 2 years to go to lineman school. So my biggest challenge with him is that we're both so dominant. So what advice could you give me after being an independent woman for so long to bring more feminine aspects to the relationship and allow him to take the reins?
Okay. And how long have you been together?
We've only been together since September of last year.
Okay. Already butting heads, huh?
No, we don't butt heads at all. That's the
Okay.
crazy part.
That's good. So what's creating the problem then? Are you just
I feel like I just have to let loose. I just have to let him take the reins.
okay?
And just because I've been a single mom for so long, and I've always had to be mom, dad, friend, counselor, everything to the kids,
Mhm.
and he's had to do the same, I'm struggling with letting go.
Okay. So this isn't something that he's brought up as a problem. It's just something that you desire to do, but you're struggling to do it.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, he has said a few things about it, but we never fight. We never argue. We always can sit down and have a very good conversation, but I can feel that he wants me to be more soft. So what's the best advice that you could give me to be more soft?
And y'all been together since September.
Yes, but we've been best friends for 16 years. So we know each other in and out. Travel great, work together great, communicate great, but I just know that he wants a softer side of me.
I'm with you. I'm gonna help you with this. There's a deeper problem here, though. Not like problem like the relationship is doomed, nothing like that, but problem in the sense where there's always going to be a problem. Does that make sense?
Yes, but I feel like
I'm
starting to believe that it's more of a me problem and not a him problem.
possibly, but the no conflict stinks.
No, but we have conflict.
Okay.
But we can talk through it without calling names or.
Okay, that's different.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
conflict. It's just that we just don't. It's not you're a piece of shit or something like
It
that.
doesn't get toxic. Gotcha. So you say argument. It's not like you mean it's not getting into like disrespecting each other. That's fine. That's a different thing.
It can
Okay.
get heated or we
Gotcha.
can be upset, but
Good.
we're not.
Okay. Healthy
We're not.
conflict.
Right. We're not
Let's go
tearing
back.
each other down.
Perfect.
Correct.
Okay. Now I love this connection. That's perfect. All right. So, okay then. I would say that you just start small with that. So let me ask you this. In what ways do you feel like you're taking the reins? Give me like specific examples.
I feel like I don't ask for help where a man should step in because
Okay.
I'm so used to doing all those things. Now perfect example. So we don't live together.
Mm-hmm.
We've made a conscious decision to not do that until all the kids are gone, and we live 3 miles away from from each other, so it's easy for us to just kind of do that,
Okay.
and it's comfortable. But I just feel like I'm not soft enough
Okay.
because I don't trust, and I should trust him 100%.
Okay.
So I'm trying to learn what I can do to trust him. And not trust him as far as him cheating or something, but trust like he's got it when I need it.
Right. Okay. Yeah, you
But
need
do I ask? Do I just start asking? Like, because
yes,
I have a hard time saying, hey, I don't know how to fix this in the house. Can you come and do it?
you need evidence. You're trying to switch your mindset with like just will it. You need evidence. You need evidence that if you go to him and you ask him for something, that he'll follow through and solve the problem.
He will.
But you don't need it to be a big problem though. So start small.
Okay.
It could be starting as small as like, can you open this for me?
Right.
Right? You just want to start to build the habit and the identity of someone that can go to your man and ask for assistance.
And that's so hard for me.
Right? Which is why we start small.
Right.
Right? We start small just to kind of grease the wheel a little bit. It's
So
like
the
going
first
to the
thing that I did was last Sunday.
okay.
For the first time, I just laid on the couch and let him cook.
Right. That was rough for you?
It was. It was so tough. It was so tough. And so, as I sat there watching the movie,
Uh-huh.
I'm sitting there thinking, I should be doing this and I should be doing that. And
Right.
so I have to, so just letting go of those simple things will
Yes.
help.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And just
Okay.
embracing that feeling that because it sounds like you also have a hard time relaxing in general.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's normally anxiety.
Total. I'm an empath and he's an avoidant for sure.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. So that's how I would say it. And maybe like making dinner was too big of a jump, right? That's probably why you like was overwhelmed. I would treat this like going to the gym, progressive overloaded. Does that term,
Right.
you know what that term means, progressive overload?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's how I would treat that in this
Okay.
way. You start small, where it's like you can easily lift, and then you just keep incrementally making the ask a bit bigger. And then you start sending the signal to your nervous system that it's going to work out. And you start small because it's like there may be even an aspect of you that not just doesn't trust that it will get done from like a nervous system perspective, not a logical perspective, but just in your body, how it feels. But then also like if it gets done, it may not be done to your liking.
Right. So we travel once a month together.
Okay.
And I think the airports show a lot about people together.
They do, for sure.
They do. So we just traveled to the West Indies and it was finally like fluid
Uh-huh.
where I trusted that he had everything in line. So maybe that was the first step.
Okay.
And then sitting on the couch and letting him cook dinner
Right.
and not feeling like I had to do those things. So just baby steps.
Baby step it. And even you asking this question and trying is magnificent.
He's phenomenal.
Right. Yeah,
The
that's
fact that we can communicate without fighting is amazing.
right. Yeah, I feel like it's probably one of the healthiest couples so far I've had on this live. So far. I know it's early. I know it's early.
I actually might do, because you do one-on-ones, right?
Uh-huh.
I think I'm going to do a one-on-one with you because I could dive deeper.
Sure. Is you hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow in the little dialogue box, you can send me a DM. We can start a conversation. But
Right.
yeah, you stair step this. You just take micro steps. You progressive overload it. And I mean, obviously there'll be other challenges, right? Like no problem has come up in this conversation, but all relationships are going to have one. That's part of the benefit of them. You kind of like you're with someone who's going to see you more than any other person in your life, and vice versa. So there's going to be some trigger.
part of the problem and part of the solution is that we've known each other for so long.
Right. But it's not
And-
within this context though. So the
Correct.
dynamic is going to change things. a bit.
Correct. Yeah. So I think I'm just going to suggest a one-on-one so I can
Okay.
kind of dive deeper into it. But it's like I'm trying to screw up something that is so great, and
Right.
I feel it.
You feel it? But you're fighting against it though.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we'll talk more about it, but like still kudos to you for trying. Like it's so many people don't try. Or they don't try to learn the additional skills so that they can get better. So just
Right.
that bit, if you have two people who have the mindset that you're displaying right now,
Yeah.
right? That's all that's required. It's just
Yeah.
a willingness to try to get better and not to just tolerate the problem in the relationship until it grows to such a degree that it just destroys it.
And I kind of think too, it's a little bit scary sometimes just because he's so willing to talk through issues with me.
Mhm.
And I've never experienced that in my life.
Right. Right. And then that gets to like a self-esteem issue thing where it's like, do I deserve this? And
And
then,
and he says the same thing. I
right.
mean, he in return.
Mhm.
And I mean, it's just it's almost like it feels too good to be true type of situation.
And wait for the other shoe to drop. Yep. I know what you're talking about. There's ways out of that.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate it, so I'm gonna DM you.
All right. Sounds good, love. You take
Thank
care.
you.
Hmm.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, that's the best you're gonna find, people. People want like these perfect people, but it's like what she just displayed was what you're looking for. You're looking for someone that's like, okay, I'm gonna really try. I'm gonna really, may fail, but that orientation is what you're looking for. That's the best you're going to get. All right, Cassandra, what's going on?
Hi. Yeah, so I initially was, looking for just your opinion and, thought on this subject. But
Uh-huh.
while I was waiting for, to come up next, I kind of got like a little bit of closure in a sense. But let me,
Okay.
I still want to pick your brain about it and see like your thought
Sure.
process on it. And then also like, if you have any advice for like how to move forward.
Sure.
Long story short, I met this guy on a dating app. We met in person a few days later. We both didn't want anything. We both agreed to like friends with benefits, situationship, and whatnot. And that's what I was looking for at the time. And off the top, he came off like super like not like dominant, but like he was just like so confident. You know what I mean? He was just like and I've never been the type to be like, oh, okay, like, yeah, you can guide me or you can lead me. I was always the type to be like, no, like, I need to have everything, like, under control. I need to have, steer the boat and whatnot in a sense. And for whatever reason, I felt comfortable letting him lead me. And so, whatever, we end up spending, like, many, many nights together. Like, I think the situationship and whatnot lasted, like, almost 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And fast forward, over those, that time together, we spent like many nights together. We spent my birthday, Valentine's together. He eventually ended up admitting to liking me. I admitted to liking him and whatnot, but we would still keep it casual and like, we weren't gonna like do anything about it. And like he would make comments, and just like, say things like that would make me like quote unquote feel special. Like, he was just like, for instance, like he lives technically in Arizona, but he travels between Arizona and Dallas for work. So, he was here every other week basically. And there was a time whenever he drove from Arizona to Dallas, and it was like a 15-hour drive. And, he came to see me basically like almost immediately. He went home, like, got unpacked and whatnot, and came straight to me. And, he just, like, he like made it seem like it was just like, oh, like, I really like you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have came to see you first thing, and it was just like whatever. Like he would like make little comments like that, just trying to make it seem like, how much he was feeling me. And, he would. So anyways, fast forward, after this goes on for a while, he ends up like the last night we spent together, asking me to be his girlfriend. He was like, well, do you want to be my girlfriend? And I was like, oh yeah. I was open to it. I was like, yeah, actually, like, I do like you. Like, I do want to do that. And then whenever we woke up in the morning, he gave me a kiss on the forehead. He was like, okay, I'll see you Saturday, because we had plans for Saturday. Come Friday, I'm confirming plans for Saturday. And he was like, oh, I have to go back to Arizona. I'm sorry, baby. And then that was the last text message I ever received from him. That was on March 20th. Right. I never heard from him again. I texted him, I called him, like, he just like completely. And then I was like, wait a minute, I think he blocked me. And I ended up having like my friend call him from like a fake number or whatever. Tonight, actually, while I was waiting, because I was just like, I wanted to know. I was like, man, like, is this guy like, am I blocked? You know what I mean? Like, is he alive? Like, like my mind was just going like all over the place because I didn't know what was going on. So she ends up calling him. He answers and whatnot, and she acts like she was calling for somebody else. And I was like, oh, okay, so he is alive. He just ghosted me, and I'm like, what happened? Like, I'm so confused.
Right. Okay. So what's your question here, love?
So initially my question was just that, like, I wanted to see your perspective as a man, like, you know what I mean? And like,
what you thought happened or what might have went wrong or whatever, because I didn't get any closure. It was just like he just randomly asked me to be his girlfriend, and then randomly 2 days later goes MIA, and I never heard from him again. But then now that I know he is very much alive and well, I'm like, okay, so how does one move forward from this? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it feels like a mind fuck in a sense because, excuse my language. It feels like I'm just like, what the heck? You know what I mean? And mind you, I had been single and not interested in a relationship for the past 5 years. So it was a huge leap for me to take that, and that blind leap of going into a relationship. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, so y'all met on the dating app, and first it was like casual, right?
You said what?
You said y'all met on the dating app, and at first it was casual, correct?
Yeah, it was
Okay.
casual.
How long did y'all deal with one another?
How long? What?
How long were y'all like dealing with one another?
Like about 3 months.
Okay, and this wasn't long distance or anything, was it?
Well, like, he lives in Arizona, but he also has a place out here in Dallas. So it's like he was here every other week. Like, he'd be out here a week, then he'd be in Arizona a week, then he'd be back here in Dallas a week
Why?
for work.
So
He
yeah.
travels for work.
Okay. All right. So he lives in Arizona and Dallas, and y'all were hooking up, and then he started to treat the connection more seriously,
Exactly.
and then eventually, like, what happened before he asked you to be his girlfriend?
Right before that, we were just, talking because, like, me and him, we have, like, in-depth conversations and stuff like that. And so the topic of other people got brought up. And I was, like, being honest with him because, like, that's how we are. We're very honest with each other. And I was like, yeah, like, there are guys that do want to pursue me, like, in being in a relationship, but I don't want that. Like, I'm here with you. You know what I mean? I'm, like, chilling here. And then not too long after that, that's whenever he was like, oh, okay, like, do you want to be my girlfriend then? So I was just like, I don't know if he maybe felt pressured in a sense.
Okay. Did when he went back to Arizona, did you two talk frequently?
Yeah.
Like on the phone?
Yeah, not frequently on the phone, like we would text, but we were never like on the phone talkers, even when he was here in Texas.
Okay, so you never talked to him on the phone like at night.
On the phone at night, no. Like, that's what I was saying. Like, we never really were on the phone talkers at all. We, you know what I mean? Like, we were more like texters and whatnot because I have kids, so I don't really just be on the phone talking to people. You know what I mean? Because I'm with my
Gotcha.
kids.
Okay. Where my brain goes is he was cheating on whoever he was with in Arizona, and then they either got suspicious or found out, or he had to cover his tracks real quick, so he blocked you.
Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like where my mind went to, but I was just like, I don't know if that's just how every woman thinks, you know what I mean? Especially those who've been cheated on before, so I didn't want to assume that's what it was, but that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah, because there's like if you told me the reason why I asked you that you talk on the phone with him, if you told him like, oh yeah, we FaceTime every night, and I was like, okay, well then he probably wasn't cheating then. But nah, you created the conditions to where he definitely could live a double life in this situation. You didn't require much in terms of when he went back to Arizona. It's like he could realistically be with a whole nother person, you know? So I can't tell you that for certain, right? Like, but ultimately, if somebody, blocks you or treats you wrong, it's like, just gotta move on, I know it's disorienting. It's like, how do you deal with me for 3 months and then I wasn't even pursuing you for a relationship. You pursued me for a relationship and asked me to be with you, and then you just did a 180. I get how confusing that is.
Exactly. That's why I was like, we were already like cool where we were at. Like, we both had a mutual agreement that we didn't want anything. We both got what we wanted out of each other. And then it's like he pursues me for a relationship just to go MIA one day. Like, that's the part that confuses me the most because I'm like, I don't know, is that like a man like tactic, a manipulative tactic? I don't know.
No, I don't think this was manipulative in the sense of he was trying to hurt you or anything like that. I think the only thing that would make perfect sense in this scenario is that he had a whole other person there.
Yeah.
right? But here's the thing, though. Don't delude yourself in thinking that you can just hook up with somebody consistently and catch no feelings for them. That's not true. If that were true, you wouldn't even agree to being in a relationship with him. You would be like,
Yeah.
I don't have any feelings for you. I just like sleeping with you. But you agreed because you had feelings for him as well. So don't lie to yourself. You set yourself up for these kind of situations when you try to just hook up with people consistently. That's just the situation. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, love. Best of luck to you, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, AK, what's going on?
Okay, so I feel like I need to give a little bit of a backstory before I ask my questions so you can understand.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I am currently 24 weeks pregnant with twins.
Okay, congrats.
Thank you. Okay, so I was with the father of my children from October to December.
Okay.
In January, through a friend that I no longer associate with, she introduced me to a man. He was very kind, very respectful. He would just, we were just casual. He would check up on me, ask me how I was feeling. Well, things progressed from there. He told me that, he had feelings for me. And I told him that, I could potentially see a relationship maybe in the future with him. But during my pregnancy, I would like to not be committed to anyone. Long story short, that did not last very long. We ended up getting into a talking phase. So, for context, I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. He is also from St. Louis, Missouri, but he's in the Marines. He's a sergeant in the Marines and is currently stationed in California. We would FaceTime every night, fall asleep on the phone, all of that. He would text me throughout the day when he could. We ended up stop talking in a romantic matter, and now we just communicate as friends, so we no longer flirt with each other. But
real quick, this is different from the child's father, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So the child's father, I am no longer in contact with. Refuse to talk to him. Everything like that.
Okay.
So the father of my twins is no longer in the picture and will not allow to be able to see my children for as long as they live, and I make decisions for them. Once they turn 18, if they would like to build a relationship with their father, that is on them. But until then, no. But kind of my question is what are your thoughts or opinions on the situation with the guy from the Marines? I know people say there's stereotypes about different branches, and how Army men act, how there's people that go around saying Marines eat crayons because they're stupid. It's just a whole bunch of rumors and everything. But he is a very respectful man. He does not care that I'm pregnant with someone else's kids. We've had, hour-long conversations about it, all of that. But what are your thoughts on going from talking to not talking to just being cordial to him saying he wants me back?
How old are you two?
He's 25. I will be 22 in May.
Okay. This is a very weird situation, love. I must be honest with you. If he does not care that you are currently pregnant with twins and he's sleeping with you, you're dating a weirdo.
He's not sleeping with me. I have never had any physical contact with him other than a
Even
hug.
okay, that's good. I'm glad because oh my God, the visuals it was in my head. That was there. It was definitely concerning. So I'm glad to hear that we're not doing that. But
No,
still, this is also still very weird.
it is. It's a very. I'm not gonna say weird. It's definitely a unique situation.
No, I used the right word. It's weird. It's weird. It goes against all wiring that men have. All the wiring that men have, it goes against all of that. To be dating a woman who is actively pregnant with another man's children, right? That is not. Nope. 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 Nope.
So
Nope. Nope.
we're not together.
No,
We
even
were never
showcasing.
in a solidified
I
relationship,
got
I
you.
should say.
Got you. But even if he's pursuing that and open to it, it's still weird. At the best, it's desperate. At the worst, this is a fetish. At the best, you're dealing with an extremely desperate person. At the worst, this is a fetish. Which is why this is an unheard of situation. You don't see this situation often, do you?
You don't,
Okay.
but I will say, us being in a talking phase, like it was never going to lead anywhere, like as far as like physical contact. Mind you, he's 1,800 miles across. So I'm still in St. Louis. He
I
is in
can
California.
I can promise you, if you let him, and he was able to, he would sleep with you while you're pregnant.
Can I also add that he's been celibate for 3 years ever since he lost his child?
He's been celibate for 3 years ever since he lost his child.
Yes,
Okay.
he was.
Okay, Hannah, we weren't supposed to remove her. I wanted to hear the rest of that story. Love, you can request back up. It's an interesting dynamic that I wanted to unpack. I want to get to the bottom of why this man is entertaining this pregnant woman. Did somebody say y'all believe anything? You think that woman is not trolling. That woman is not
Okay.
trolling at all. Hold on one second. She's obviously pregnant. You can hear it in her voice, right? You can hear the breathing, right? 2, tonality, right? There's nothing off with the tonality at all. It's either very honest or the best actor we've seen on this panel so far. Okay, trust my discernment on this. All right, AK, back to you. Okay, so
I will say that he has been celibate. He has told me that he's been celibate for 3 years. He was originally stationed in Japan,
okay,
and that's where he met his ex-fiance, who he also had a child with, but the child was stillborn.
okay,
So after the child was born stillborn, he then got orders to come back to the U.S., and so they kind of just broke things off.
okay.
Because they were like, he's like, I'm probably never going to come back to Japan. I don't see a reason to come back to Japan. It's expensive. You know, I'm going to be working. All of those things.
Ooh, okay. His child was stillborn. Okay.
Yes.
This sounds like he's playing out. You know how serial killers will they'll get beat by their mother and she's blonde and they're like, okay, I gotta go find me a blonde chick to strangle real quick.
It was technically a miscarriage. I believe she was only like, I think she was like 20 weeks. So she had to like give birth.
Okay.
So it wasn't like a full-term pregnancy. Her water broke and then the child was born stillborn. The child died inside the womb.
It sounds like he is trying to live out that fantasy, for lack of a better word, or what he was unable to complete with the woman that he was dealing with previously through you, because you're pregnant currently. This is a Lifetime movie. Whoa. That's what's going on here, for sure.
Yeah, okay, so I'm getting what you're saying,
But so I've known him since 2018. I met him when he was at my high school doing recruiting for the Marines. That's what he used to do
Okay.
before he went to active duty. So I met him through there, but then like reconnected in January with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he'll call me here and there, and it's not like a phone call, it's FaceTime. Like I have the address to the base that he's at. He's had I've sent, things to him, more or less just things that like his mom is like, hey, can you send this to, I'm gonna reveal his name, I really don't care. Hey, I need you to send this to Kaylin, I'm going on a work trip. Or hey, can you, mail this out to Kaylin? Cool. So it's nothing that I'm spending money on. It's things that his mother's sending him.
Yeah.
And so the serial killer part of the conversation is excluded. Because from what I know of him, that's not who he is.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm saying is, you see like a serial killer. It's like they'll get abused at a young age or something like that. A lot of the times by someone who looks a certain way, and then when they grow up, they start offing people who look like that person, right? They start to get their revenge through other people, right? That remind them of the person who harmed them initially. I'm just connecting that to this situation. He was unable to have children with the woman that he was with previously. So now he's identified you as someone to complete that journey with, right? But the problem with this is, before I get into that, you said y'all been friends since 2018?
Yes.
Okay. Has he ever tried to pursue you romantically before?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Yes, that is the problem here. He's pursuing you romantically now because he's trying to play out this narrative with you. The problem with that is you're not special in this situation. You're just the pregnant woman that he can play this out with.
Okay, can I also say that we've had multiple conversations about him not wanting to be the parent or the father figure to my children. And I've made that abundantly clear to him, and he's also voiced that that's not his intentions. His intention is to just kind of support me and be there for me.
Okay.
Like I said that I would allow my kids to know who he is, but his name is going to be Kaylin or K, which is like his nickname.
Okay, but you're assuming that people just have to tell the truth. That's not how people are. They can lie to you if it means getting what they want. Right? There's men who will say, I love you, I want to marry you, and then sleep with you. And they're like, well, I got what I wanted. All that was bullshit. So I would bet on that he's hoping you would change your mind, especially if he shows up like the good, supportive guy in your life. And you're like, oh, he's done such a great job helping me and supporting me through this pregnancy. You know what? I will let him play the father to these kids. Not a good situation.
I don't know. I feel a certain way about letting another man play the father figure to my children because I know that they have a father. He's just not in the right headspace to be a father right now.
You said at the beginning of this call that you would never let your kids see him.
I wouldn't because he's not in the right headspace. But they do have a father.
Right.
Are they going to know about their dad? No. If they would like to
sounds
know
like
later
hold on. Sounds
sure.
like you would get back with him if he got his act together.
Absolutely not.
That's what
The
you
way
say.
that he has put his hands on me, he has threatened me, he has told me to basically off myself. He has told me to get have the kids aborted multiple times because he said in his words,
if we can't be together, then you have to get a abortion. And I kind of explained to the father of my children, like, that's not how that works. We can co-parent in a healthy way. We don't have to be together.
Okay. So I hear
To
you,
raise
love.
kids.
I hear you. You're going through a tough time with some men, but this current guy is not a solution, though.
And I'm not saying he is a solution. I just wanted your thoughts on it. Like, I don't see pursuing anything with him, and I see a lot of comments, you know, cycling through, like, saying, like, oh, like, you're worrying about men, you're worrying about this, when I'm not. If he doesn't text me for a week, I don't care. If, you know, it's not, you know, I'm worried. I'm focusing on me and my children and making sure that I can support myself and my 2 children when they come in July.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what you should focus on, love. But as far as my thoughts on this situation with this guy, nope. Nope. I double click on the word weird that I used earlier. It's weird.
It's definitely, okay, I will say it's definitely a weird situation. I feel like, I don't know, I can't give like all the details on live because it's just a lot of events. And I feel like, you know, at one point I was, and I will say this because, you know, he admitted it himself. At one point I was being used as a filler because the girl that he wanted was not giving him that same attention span that I would give him. And so I was being used as like that filler person, and that's when the talking stage happened.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, both of you are using each other for sure. Because you don't really like him that much. But it's nice to have a guy
You
to
know,
talk
and
to.
I like him as a friend, and you know, I will probably keep him as a friend,
Right.
but probably never a relationship or anything of that sort because I'm just focused on my children.
Okay.
For the people who are saying I should seek therapy,
Okay, you don't focus on the chat. That's just gonna have us here all day. All right. But I wish you the best, love. I hope that you have a happy and healthy pregnancy, all right?
all right, you too.
You take care. All right. Top 3 most interesting calls we've had. Whoa. Yeah, that's a lifetime movie for sure. Pierre, what's going on, brother?
All right, everyone have a deep breath, okay? That was a lot. But all right. No, we're just here for an update. You know, I'm going on a date tomorrow, so
Okay.
I am going on a date tomorrow. Things are going quite good, you know. So just telling you guys to be positive. Yeah, because you know, I promised to people I will come and give you an update. So
Okay. Nice.
tomorrow, we are going on a date. She says she's excited, and yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'll keep people. I'm gonna bring her up here. There's no question, by the way. Anyone who's asking, there's no question. I just came to give an update, all right? So.
All right, brother. Best of luck to you, man.
Okay.
Pierre gonna update us on everything. I had cereal this morning, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Just want to let y'all keep y'all posted. It's a little bit stale. I forgot to close it properly, but almond milk, in case anybody was wondering. Okay. Spora, what's going on?
Yeah, hello. I'm sorry, I'm nervous, but I can try to talk. So, I'm 21 years old, and last year, around March, I fell in love with a guy here in Japan from my country. I'm a Tanzanian.
Okay.
And we started off as friends. Actually, we met on Instagram. He DM'd me, and then we dated for quite a while, like months. And then we moved in together last year, November. And the reason to why we moved in together is that I was having some issues with housing, and he was living with his friends. So we kind of decided that we can move in together, find a house together, and pay stuff together, like that. And I think I messed up. I fucked up because I'm sorry, my language. I messed up because I was like doing everything 50-50 with this guy, like moving in, buying stuff, everything 50-50. And right now, we're still paying rent together 50-50, but the guy, he's just like, he's changed. He has changed. Like, whenever I try to tell him an issue, like, this is not making me happy in this relationship, I'm just trying to talk to him because I can't go to him aggressively. I'm just going to him like, babe, can I tell you 1, 2, 3? And then he's just like turning it all way back to me. Like, you're the problem. You're the one who's doing this. You're the one who's doing that. I don't know. He's shouting at me, yelling at me. And then sometimes when I get mad at him, I yell. And then he takes advantage of that and he records it. He records the part where I'm yelling. And then he sends it to my friend. And then he tells my friend, your friend is a psycho. She's shouting at me. That's why we're having fights in this relationship. I can't be with her. She's yelling all the time. I can't be with this type of woman. Like that. And then, like, from January, since January, I started changing. Like, whenever I get angry, I don't yell at him. I control myself. I try to stay silent whenever he's mad, whenever he's whatever. And then I still go to him. I tell him, I'm not happy in this relationship. Like, bro, I'm crying every day. You're not even sympathizing with me. He's not even tapping me like, baby, calm down. No. He goes to sleep. Then whenever I tell him, like, are you not... I mean, my English is not good. So, like, don't you care about my feelings? Don't you care about how I feel about you? And then he's telling me, like, what am I supposed to do about it? What am I supposed to do with how you feel about me? Then I tell him, like, if you love someone, you would care of how they feel about you or how they think about you as, like, a good person or stuff like that. But how comes you really don't care about my feelings? And he's like, you're the one who is the problem. He's telling me I'm the problem. Then I told him I changed. I'm not shouting, I'm not yelling. I'm calm. I talk to you in a very calm way. I do everything. I'm trying to be that woman. I cook, I clean. We're not even married. We're not even people who would say that we dated for like 5 years or something. We're not those kind of people. And the other issue is that we are living abroad and our families are back there in our country. And I tried to tell him, because I told my mom about him, that I live with someone, blah, 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 blah. And then I told him, tell your parents that you're living with me, because if anything happens to you out here, I'm the one who is responsible. I'm the one who has to, like, take you to hospital if something happens or anything. So you have to tell your parents that you live with someone. And he's like, I'm not ready to tell my parents because I'm studying here. They're paying school fees for me. So they'll think like I'm a man right now. They'll think that I'm taking care of a woman already. They'll think that, how comes we're paying school fees for this guy and he's taking care of a woman? And I told him, you really don't have to tell them that you take care of me. You can just tell them that you have someone out here. He said, no, he's not ready. So my question is, what should I do? Because I really feel hurt and he really doesn't care.
Okay. How old are you two?
I'm 21 and he's 26.
Okay. And how did y'all meet?
Yes?
How did y'all meet?
Like, he DM'd me. And then we started talking for like weeks. Then we met around on, I think we met on April somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, after he DM'd me on March, around 10th.
And how long have y'all been dealing with one another?
I've been dealing, I think.
Like, how long have y'all been, like, dating or in a relationship?
It's been a year now.
It's been a year. And how long did y'all date before you moved in with him?
Like June, July, August, September, October, November, like 7 months.
Okay. All right. And you didn't see any of this behavior until you moved in.
Yeah, like he was just okay, we were good. I was going to his place, he was coming to my place sometimes. Sometimes we were meeting in hotels. Like most of the times we were meeting in hotels before he started coming to my place. Then after that we talked of moving in together.
Was he the one trying to get you to move in with him?
No, we were just talking and we were like, okay, it's quite cheaper if we take a house together and save the rest and do stuff together, like investing, those kind of stuff. So, and I was so serious about the relationship. I was just like, okay, I need to settle. I don't like being with men. So I just needed to settle. And I told him about it. And he was like, yeah, I also need to settle. I also need a woman who I can marry, like that.
Okay. And your question is what to do in this situation?
Yeah.
And you have to leave, right?
So last week I told him, I sent him a message. When I left work, I told him I feel hurt. I don't feel like my feelings are being validated. I'm not being appreciated in this relationship. Would you can we just like take a break? Can we just I can't. And then he told me, okay. That's what he replied. Okay. Then when I came back home, we lived together. So when I came back home, he also came back home. And he was like, everything is normal, yet it's not. I told him we should take a break. And he's like touching me. He's trying to kiss me. He's trying to And I'm telling him like, I told you I need a break. Because this guy has been taking advantage of how I like him, I don't know, how I like cuddling him, how I like kissing him. So whenever I tell him do something for me, he's like, come I kiss you so that you can do it. And then I'm like, what, are you crazy? Like, no, I can't do that. I've just told you to help me with something. Why are you telling me to kiss you and then I can do it by myself? And the whole part that is making me crazy and all is that he's trying to make me feel like I'm crazy. Like whenever I do something, whenever I ask him, why have you kept this here? And then he's telling me, you're the one who kept that. Don't you remember? Is something wrong with your brain? Don't you remember that you kept that there? And then I'm like, no, I didn't do that. I didn't put that there. And recording me when I'm mad, when trying to make other people feel like I'm crazy.
Yeah. So back to my answer, right? You leave.
Okay.
You don't take a break. What are you taking a break for? The break is not going to be a solution. It doesn't solve anything. The break does not change his behavior. You leave. Okay? There's no hope in this situation. There's nothing you can do. This situation doesn't change at all. If you stay with this person, this is what your life is going to be. So if you don't want your life to be this way, you must leave. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
No problem, love. Take care. Teresa, what's going on? Okay, let's drop Teresa. Yeah, I didn't say update because I don't think leaving is going to happen yet. I don't think we've hit like the point of no return in that situation. Also, I hate using the N word, right? But not that N word, the other one, narcissist. People are recording you, like making you mad and then recording you after you get mad. It sounds like a personality disorder. That's not normal fighting. Normal fighting isn't I make you mad and then when you get mad, I record you and then try to convince your friends that you're crazy. That's not normal. You feel me? I just hate using that word in the chat because I know women run with it. so I only use it when it's like really appropriate. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
So my situation's a little interesting. My ex and I broke up about like 3.5 weeks ago. We've been dating for like almost 3 years. Before that, we're from two different cultures, and I guess for the first 1.5 years, his parents didn't know about me because they're strict and they're Christian. And I mean, I understood because he made it known at first, like his parents weren't going to be a part of our relationship. And I sympathize with that because my parents were also strict, but I can set boundaries with them. He can't. And over time, I just noticed that he would be hiding me a lot, and I didn't really appreciate that. And I made it known, and I guess he made some efforts to kind of ease the situation. But then when he moved to med school in August, the distance became a lot more. His parents were like, they knew about me at that time. I had met them, but it was very brief. And after meeting me, they didn't really think that I was good enough. I guess he maybe agreed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the catalyst that led to us breaking up was that I had asked him, you know, when he's done with med school, which takes about 2 years, like, what does he think we'll do? You know, like, are we going to move in together? Stuff like that. And he said that he didn't know and that he doesn't think we should move in together because essentially his parents won't accept it. And that, you know, obviously made me sad. But now he keeps saying he misses me and that he regrets how he broke up with me, but there's no real change. And I just don't want to keep falling back into that emotional support with him if nothing's going to change. So I guess I just need advice on how to, like, cut it off if I can.
So wait, why did y'all break up?
We broke up because essentially his parents weren't gonna accept me as his girlfriend, and he didn't want to challenge that or set boundaries.
Why were his parents not going to accept you?
Because, well, I'm Hispanic and he's Indian, and I guess ideally they want him to be with an Indian girl or white girl, and I'm not exactly what they're looking for. I guess, you know, I'm still in my undergrad, he's in med school.
Right.
I guess to them I'm not enough, I guess.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay. And you were asking how to leave?
I'm asking how I can just, like, not break no contact and just stick to, I don't know, what do you think I should do? Should I stop reaching out? Should I stop hoping that, you know, something changes with him?
No, nothing's gonna change. For whatever reason, I mean, ideally, obviously cultural reasons, make it so you're fundamentally incompatible. If he's saying that, oh, my parents must approve of you for me to be with you, and they don't approve, so I can't be with you, then you have to accept that and move on. There's no hope present in the situation.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, it's just kind of difficult because we're, like, each other's first relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of hard to walk away from that.
I get it. Yeah, I definitely empathize with you. It sounds like a painful situation, but it's not going to change, right? It's not going to change. So I wouldn't let him lead you on, because what happened in this situation is like, oh, I miss you, and then Let me try to get you back in some capacity so that I can enjoy you, but then not have the pressure of really being with you for real. I have my cake and eat it too situation. And I wouldn't advise for you to engage that dynamic because it's not fair for you, right? The longer you entertain the wrong person, you delay the right person from showing up.
I also wanted to add another thing. Like, I want to say maybe 2 to 3 days, like, after we broke up, he was already, like, following people on Instagram. I know he's not following guys. Like, I'm pretty sure they're all girls from his school and all that stuff. And, like, it's like, I don't know how... Like, how is it so easy for, like... I don't want to put it in a category, but why is it so easy for men to just detach themselves from stuff like that?
Keep it a bean with you. Keep it a whole bean with you. Was he following Indian girls?
Yeah, but I think from his undergrad.
Like just Indian girls, I mean.
Oh, just? Oh, no. There was like a whole mix of them. Well, I unfollowed him after
Here's the thing.
we broke up, but
it's very possible the whole family shit was bullshit.
That's what I'm thinking
That's
too.
a very convenient way to keep someone in a situationship. Well, my parents aren't going to approve. Mommy says no, so I can't. I would definitely commit with you. I want to cut off all these other women that I'm dealing with and only date you. Mommy says no, so I can't do it. Right? The tail would be him following people after telling you that who are also not Indian. That's a signal. That's a signal. If he was like really heartbroken, oh, I love her so much, but I can't, the cultural reasons.
Yeah.
He's not immediately going to follow other women. That's not happening.
Yeah, I honestly think he just wanted to date me for like the experience and then, see what comes next. But anyway, thank you. I appreciate it.
Best of luck to you. It's ladies' night apparently. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, we had Pierre. Pierre came through. Hello. Cynthia, are you there? Going once. Going twice. So. All right, who do we have here? Let's see if she comes up. I think Shorty dropped. Did she drop? Yeah, I think she dropped. Said men always down bad. What you mean? Where's C with his gum? C's not dependable. We made him a mod too quickly. We didn't put him through the mod test. If you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen. Blue and pink person, I'll bring you up. You can also drop your question in the chat. Only like one more call though. Probably. One or two more. One or two more. If we have any contenders. You can also drop your question in the chat if you have one. Oh, hold on. You agree with the Steve Harvey 90-day rule? I do not. The Steve Harvey 90-day rule. As a rule, I don't listen to anyone with a mustache like that. I would encourage you to follow the same heuristic. If you got the Cleveland Brown, if you got the burnt Cheeto mustache, I'm deaf to your advice. romantically. No, it doesn't make any sense. I've had women come up here and ask that question, and it's like, and then they'll tell the guy, right? Is that part of the 90-day rule? Is it like you tell the guy, wait 90 days? All he's going to do is do the math. Like, okay, that will be September 3rd. And then he just circles down his calendar, and then he draws like some breasts beside it, and then like some celebratory emojis. He puts all that beside it, right? And he's like, hey Siri, remind me September 3rd, I'm getting some cheeks. And then it's like, you see what I'm saying? It doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense. Nine-day rule doesn't mean he's going to be faithful. Right. Right. I get it. It acts as a filtering mechanism, right? So it's like, okay, you tell men that, and it's like, okay, if you're not serious about me, then you leave. I understand the logic. I'm just saying practically it doesn't work that way. Not in 2020. Yeah, you gotta go. Too much noise. Not in 2026. He'll wait for you, and then Becky and, you know, Brittany, he'll crack those until September 3rd comes around, and then he'll come back, right? I mean, he's still there, but then September 3rd he goes and makes it happen. After the 90 days elapse. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm alright, you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
I just wanted to talk about my relationship
Okay.
and just see what you think. Right, I've been dating, let's call him Mr. A for about 7 months.
Okay.
And then during the course of the relationship, like I think last month, I got pregnant, and we both agreed, because he's a nurse, I'm also a nurse. We both agreed we're not ready for the baby. So I said, okay, I'm gonna have to book an appointment to get rid of it. And he said, okay, that's fine. I should give him details of the day, and so he can go for emotional support or whatever support he can give. And I spoke to my mom. She came down and she came to see me, and she went, right, I'm gonna have to support you. So I told him my mom's gonna be there, and he went, yeah, is there a problem? I said, right, there's no problem with that, but it's weird meeting her for the first time. He's never met my mom.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of went quiet, and during the week, it was just for a week, I went silent. He was ringing me, messaging me, and I wasn't responding. That period, I was kind of detached. I was upset. I don't know why I was upset really, but I think I was grieving or something. I don't know. My mom was there. She supported me emotionally and all that. So after everything, I just ignored him totally. And when my mom left, I don't know how I told him my mom was going to be there for me for a week. So when my mom left, he came to see me, like unannounced. He came to my door, like, why have I been ignoring him and stuff like that? But I said nothing. Well, I let him in. I stayed a couple of days, went on a date, but I've kind of detached. How am I supposed to get back to loving him? That's my question.
How are you supposed to get back to loving him?
Yeah.
What was the actual problem here? What made
I don't know. I think I was grieving the baby, or I just detached emotionally. I don't think I'm kind of in love with him. But now he's so loving, caring, ringing me, all of that. But I don't feel that vibe anymore, or that spark. I don't know.
Okay. How long ago did this occur? Like
2 weeks.
2 weeks?
And he was here 2 days ago.
Did you want the children?
No, not really. Well, initially I did, but we both agreed that it's too early and all of that. I'm busy working professionally and all of that. But yeah.
But initially you did. So it's fair to say that you did, and then you were kind of like convinced.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. If you did want those children, and then you were told that it's better to get an abortion, and then you got an abortion just to appease the person you were with, that's rough. That type of thing leads to very deep seated resentment. You understand? You still there?
I'm here. It's just I'm just trying to see if I can get back to loving him again, like the way it was. But it's hard.
You might have to give it some time, love. Like, obviously, you have to grieve the connection. Like, if you're grieving something, and the person you're with is, from their perspective, your fault, why you even have to grieve them in the first place, you certainly are not going to feel positively towards that person while actively grieving. So you have to do one thing at a time. You're trying to do too much. You're trying to grieve and force yourself to feel love for this person. And one thing at a time. The more important thing is going to be grieve the kids, right? Once you grieve and you get back to a certain degree of baseline, then you can revisit this situation. But you're not going to be able to do both, because they kind of contradict each other.
Okay. So am I supposed to say to him, can you give me some time or like space, or should
Yes.
just go?
I will communicate that you're going through a lot for this reason. And just, you can even say like it has nothing to do with you. It's a lot for me right now. This impacted me more than I thought it would. You're just, like anything or anything. I just need some time to kind of just,
Right, okay.
grieve this connection. And you grieve the connection. There's no telling how long it's going to take. I can't give you that information. Everybody's different. When you start feeling better, then you can reassess how you feel about him. And if, you have to go through like a forgiveness cycle with him.
Right, okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
No problem, love. Have a good one. Super, what's going on?
Hey there, can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, happy Friday. TGIF. Alright, so I kind of have an update. So I know earlier this week, I came up and I was talking about that unk that I was talking to that's in his mid-60s.
Right.
So I know when we last spoke, you stated that I needed to kind of like determine the goal of me even talking to him in the first place, which I was saying like that was a good point. But yeah, either way, I realized that, it was pruning season for old buddy. So I went to cut him off. And shout out to Danny, because I wasn't sure if I should talk to him in person, since I do see him in passing pretty often, or if I should call or text. So Danny was saying like, you don't really owe him more than a text. So I text him and it didn't go as planned. So I was very clear on the fact that I was good. I didn't want to be bothered with chickadee chatting with him anymore. And it just went left and kind of spiraled into more texts and calls. And so, just to, I guess, give like a little bit more insight. So, like, I guess, I'm trying to think, like, where do I start? Because I want to be brief. So I know, like, I mentioned that he was making, like, a lot of excuses and stuff, especially for, like, his inappropriateness with a lot of the over-sexualized commentary and stuff like that. And leading up to everything, so my son's birthday was on Wednesday. And he kind of, like, reached out to me and was asking me why I didn't invite him to my son's birthday party, which I felt was like highly just inappropriate. And so I did let him know that same day that was inappropriate. And so when I attempted to like cut him off yesterday, he like went on this whole like tirade about how he wore blue for Autism Awareness Day for my son and all this stuff because my son's on the spectrum. And I'm kind of like, okay, like, why would you do all that? He doesn't know my son at all, like from a can of paint, like he hasn't seen him or anything. Right. So that was strange. And then when I went to cut him off, he basically like blew me up all day today. So I sent them a message yesterday, and then all day today he was calling and texting me. Then he sent me like a text saying that he apologized for all of his inappropriate comments and what could he do to like make it up to me and stuff. And I'm like, there's nothing to do. There's nothing else to say. And then all day today, the texts were like, oh, I'm so concerned. I don't know what's going on. Where are you? Are you safe? Like, it was just so strange, like all day. Like, I don't even know how many texts it was, but it was just like a whole long thread. And then like, maybe like right before I hopped on the live here with you guys, I responded and I said, it's no need to be concerned. Like, and then he went on to say like, well, I was actually reaching out to you because I wanted to connect you with someone. And it was a connection that we were talking about making like previously between me and someone else that he knows. And I kind of felt like that was BS, because if that was the case, then you would have just said that in the text and not sent all those weird messages about being quote unquote worried. And then mind you, just to give context about that, so I often wouldn't talk to him for like a day or two because I'm busy. So I don't know, just very strange. And so I guess my question is, how can I go about, I guess, making it more clear, which I don't even understand why I would have to make it more clear when I made it very clear when I texted him yesterday that I have no interest in talking to him further, like at all. Like I was considering like still being cool with him, but I don't even want to at this point. Like, he's doing too much. And I feel like so many boundaries have already been crossed. And like when I mentioned things before, it's like he would still do certain things again, which I don't like. And then I feel like I already showed like a little bit of grace, which I didn't even have to do. And the only reason I did was because I kind of already built a rapport with him in the first place. But I don't know. I'm like over it, and I just don't want him to bother me. And then I do have like a history of people, like when I've attempted to cut people off, like whether in like the talking phase, dating phase, or even in like relationships, I've been stalked. And I don't want this to turn into like another one of those types of situations. So I don't really know how I should address it, because I'm not going to keep going on and on with someone. And I know it could be as simple as like, oh, okay, block, like, yeah, obviously, right? But I don't know. In my case, I've had people get around the whole block thing and freaking message me from all types of random phone numbers. And then also my thing is, I see this person in passing on a regular basis. So yeah.
I mean, yeah. What did you say to him when you texted him the end thing?
Well, so I basically went over like kind of some of the issues that I had discussed with you earlier this week on the call. These are all things that I had already addressed with him directly in the moment. Yeah. So I just basically listed those reasons.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Just, you don't need to do all that. Just end it. Okay. You don't even need to say why. Just end it. You know what I mean? When you say why, you give them the ability to respond and debate and argue. You just end it. You just say, hey, I enjoy getting to know you, but not really feeling it. So you say, I'm not really feeling it. You don't say, well, I'm not feeling it because you did this, and this. Oh, you didn't really understand. I only did that because you opened the door for that. Gotcha. Just, I'm not feeling it. Not feeling a romantic connection, but I'd rather keep things platonic, right? Something like that. You don't need any kind of explanation. Just end things. Just end things. That's it. And so now you're at a place where he's arguing and stuff like that. You still.
He's not arguing with me. I haven't said anything else. I don't have anything else to say. I kind of said my piece already, and then, like you just said, like I reiterated, like I'm good. I don't want to be bothered, and that was like the last thing that I said.
Okay. All right. Well, then, yeah. So it's over then. I mean, it's still going to be awkward because you have to see him frequently, right?
Yeah.
But that's. I mean,
feel like that's the thing.
There's
Like,
no way. There's no way around that though, right? That's why a lot of people don't deal with people who they have to see frequently for this very reason. There's no way around it other than stop doing whatever activity that causes you to see him in the first place. But yeah, you just have to embrace it's going to be awkward now. There's no magical solution for that. It's just now it's going to be awkward when you see him, and just don't engage when you do. Hopefully that he picks up the hint. Worst case scenario, he's 60, so he won't have to deal with this long. He's on his way out. He has a few years in him, so just wait him out, right? Just a war of attrition. So yeah, that's just the situation. Here, I wish I could give you a magical solution, but I don't have a magical solution for you. It's just the worst case scenario here is just he's awkward. I mean, not awkward, but you know, he's it's gonna be awkward, like seeing him when you have to see him.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't feel like it'll be awkward for me because I can literally just act like he doesn't exist. I don't know if that's like the ADHD part of me, but like, I just don't want him to be bothering me. You know what I mean?
Right.
If he does see me, that's really my only concern.
Yeah, and you may have to get a little bit meaner, or not meaner but sterner, like as far as your boundaries. Don't engage. Right. Like when you saw Umi's situation the other day, like she was engaging that guy, right? You don't want to do that when you want something to end. You don't want to give them anything. That's like the equivalent of ending things, but then telling them why you're ending things.
Okay.
Right? You don't want to give them any ammunition. You just end it, and then don't give them any more energy, and make it so when they talk to you, they're having such a bad time that they don't want to do it anymore.
Okay, that makes sense. I feel like, if anything, like when I was telling him about himself, it was more so like I was just so annoyed. I was just kind of like, let me tell you about you, because you're doing too much. So, but yeah. Okay. Appreciate you.
No problem, love. Best of luck to you, know.
Thank you.
All right. That's still too much work. What would you propose she do differently? Okay. No more calls. I'm not staying with y'all tonight, unfortunately. But do we have any more slots open for coaching? I think the coaching slots are taken up. At least the woman coaching slots are taken up. The 1 hour strategy call. You can be waitlisted. You can hit that button at the bottom of the screen with the arrow inside the quotation box. Message me if you want coaching. Both men and women, but the women's slots have been limited until May or the end of April. All the people who purchased so far, they got taken up pretty quickly. Congratulations, y'all got the introductory price. Price has gone up. So for those of you who are waiting around, thinking about it, right? Price of brick is going up. So, yes. Guys, if you need help with dating and relationships, also have a course called The Retainment Blueprint. It's for men. Link in bio for that. Covers everything from the first conversation all the way to managing a happy, healthy relationship. So, tired of getting ghosted, tired of relationships not going your way, definitely get that course. It will help you. It also comes with a free 30-minute coaching call. Okay, so link is in bio for that. Appreciate the mods, appreciate the chat. I will see you all tomorrow. Y'all take care.